Despite a glittering military career that spanned 35 years and decades of public service afterwards, Colin Powell will be remembered for just a few short minutes in his speech in early 2003 in front of the UN Security Council, pushing the dodgy intelligence and the case for war against Iraq. Let's take a listen.
My colleagues, every statement I make today is backed up by sources, solid sources. These are not assertions. What we're giving you are facts and conclusions based on solid intelligence.
Before that, he was considered an embodiment of the American dream. He joined a segregated U.S. armed forces, worked his way up the ranks to general, to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, to National Security Advisor, and then the first African-American Secretary of State. He served presidents both Republican and Democrat. But it was really this case for war that really will overshadow a glittering career. And later on, he came to regret it and say that he knew the intelligence was false and that he essentially was the fall guy, standing behind a president for a false case to go to war.
So yes, I was more than embarrassed. I was mortified, because even though the president had used the same information, Congress had used the same information, Secretary Rumsfeld, Condoleezza Rice, all of us were using the same information, but I'm the one who made the biggest presentation of it.
Colin Powell was known as the embodiment of using overwhelming force by the U.S. military if you wanted to go into a war. He also deemed the pottery barn principle, that if you invade a nation, if you break it, you own it. Well, from Afghanistan to Iraq to Libya and beyond, the U.S. has proved in recent years that it breaks it and doesn't necessarily own it either. Perhaps it's most tragic, though, that Colin Powell succumbed to complications with COVID-19. He was fully vaccinated, but a cancer diagnosis left his immune system weakened. Well, it's quite incredible that he succumbed to a very real disease as opposed to perceived threats from outside Washington and the country that he helped push. And let's face it, in the war against COVID-19, well, Washington has been found wanting in that fight as well. Nathan King, CGTN, just outside the White House.